Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we'll be doing a preview of today's racing at the Vaal, the classic track, 22nd of October. We start up with the first race, and I just want to mention what we do at Outside of Genie is we do analysis of the form, and then we give you as the punter, we give you the outsider selections which you can add into your play, add it to your number, and when those outsiders do arrive, you can stand in a pair queue laughing backing outside of Genie. So let's look at the betting race one, number six, Lady of the Flame, 26 to 10, 5 to 2, La Greta, Spectral 9 to 2, Divine Isadora 11 to 2. I'm sure there was a horse called earlier in my racing career, it was also called Divine Isadora. If I'm not mistaken, it was trained by Larina. 11 to 1, Jamahiri, Bolt Leah 14 to 1, Venetian Sky 16 to 1, Silent Seal 25, Time Has Come 33 to 1, and Longer the Rest. So let's have a look at the form where my selection is the favorite. Number six, Lady of the Flame, did debut in a juvenile plate behind Sweet Sensation, which is no donkey, strong field, then improved to less than 3 lengths behind Castle de Roe, and their last time out ran on well, 23.6, and even if you can watch there behind Castle de Roe, also running on 23.4, which is also a good sign. So this horse is running on at the end, and I do believe Lady of the Flame to be too good for this field. And here we have the favorite number, one of the second favorite, Lagerta. This horse has been off for nearly 500 days. And although I do believe that Michael de Kock is a professional, it might just be that this horse just might need this run a little bit. My outsider selections in this race is number three, Riveting, who also came back after a 1 year rest, and he then duly ran 5 lengths behind Hurricane Headley and run on well, 23.1, which is not bad. And I do believe that that run would have brought this horse on, so can be involved in a finish. My other outsider selection is number 12, which is Winter Mission. Winter Mission has not, has been running 5 lengths, 6 lengths, but I'm sure this 1200 meters will suit him better today. And I do believe that this horse can do run in the back end of your quartets or run into the quartets, maybe second even. So do include in all your play. We then move on to race number two, which is also over 1200 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Betting as follows. Race 2, number 11, Warrior, 9 to 10, 4 to 1, Maratek, 6 to 1, Battle Force, Harry's Secret, 7 to 1, Pino Silvetter, 10 to 1, 14 to 1, the rest. I just want to mention what I do here is I give three selections. The first selection is my outright selection. The other two selections is my outsider selections, which you can then add into whatever play you have, and then hopefully, if you do win the big, you stand in a pair queue laughing, thanking outsider Genie. Another thing quickly that I just want to touch on is that a lot of people are saying maybe I should touch on more horses on each preview, but the problem is then it gets too long and then people are complaining. So what I'm doing, I'm giving you my first selection, which is my outright selection, and then I give you two selections in no particular order, which is my outsider selections, and then I'll touch maybe on one or two more horses during in the race. Yeah, I just want to mention number two, Gilboa, is a scratching as well as number seven. Here we have my first selection, number 10. I just want to quickly go to number 11. Number 11 did debut well. It's a Vaal out of an ideal world. And definitely debuted, not a bad debut in Cape Town, 22nd of February. Has been off for a few days. And I won't be rushing to take the 9 to 10, that is for sure, on this horse. So my selection goes to number 10, Pino Silveira, a Wyoming horse. Moves Yeni on board, drawn two, has run on well behind Wizaway. I mean, that Wizaway won by something like 8 lengths or something, and this horse still managed to run the fastest 400 to finish, 22.8. I can tell you anything under 23 seconds, 400 to finish is really not a bad time. So I'm looking for this horse, number 10, this ideal world by Horse Chestnut. Oh, what nice breeding is that to run on well and be involved in the finish. My outsider selections is one of them is number 12, West Coast Lover. Has improved from a first run to a second run, and currently with the Van Vieren yard, getting winners can be involved in the finish, although drawn 11 out of 11 around the bend. My other outsider selection in this race is number 8, Battle Force, Paul Massett. Also another act of war of gelding, like the first race was an act of war filly. Um, I think this was finishing 7.5 lengths behind in the first race. It's not a bad effort. Kumalo again, Battle Force can definitely improve. Maybe chuck in number 8, have it into your quartets. Andrew Fortune, I see, is the owner of this horse. Got June Sampson on board. You never know what this horse can be, a good champion or can be a donkey. I don't know, but only the race will tell. But the Fortune stable is involved, so do include this into your quartets. Let's move on to race number 3, where we have another maiden plate over 1,200 meters. Here the betting is as follows. The first timer Al Azay 13 to 10, Master Ulitide 4 to 1, Ash 11 to 2, Emerald Flow 7 to 1, Jetcat 8 to 1, 16 to 1, Trooper, and 20 to 1, and longer the rest. Yeah, here again we have the first timer from Mike Cock, and as the norms per bookmakers, they price it up short. I can't have an opinion on this horse because I don't know it. It looks like it's nicely bred, can win, but in terms of working on form, my first selection here is number 1, Ash. The Sinden Grey stable can't do anything wrong. Lyle Hewitson is riding like the champion he is, drawn free. This horse ran over 1,400 meters last time, but I don't think the 1,200 meter will be a problem, and he's improving. So that's my first selection for race number 3. My outsider selection in this race, number 10, Trooper. Trooper has had 2 runs, didn't show much. He's currently 16 to 1 in the betting, but I do like the breeding of this coup de grace by the Street Crime here. So your girl, and I do feel that this horse is ready to improve. Can see handy no more, handy now more, over 1,400 and 450, bringing it back to the 1,200 meters. I'm sure Trooper can be involved in the finish. And then also number 11, Emerald Flow, another Van Vieren inmate. Danielson drawing from draw 1, has had a number of places, 1 or 2 places, and can definitely improve to be involved in the finish. Also number 12, Courtney Lee, do include in the back end of your quartets. Let's move on to race number 4, which is another maiden plate over 1,600 meters. Here we have the betting as follows. Number 1, Pin Up 5 to 2, Bitter Wind 5 to 2, Suntrax 11 to 2, She's a Cracker 15 to 2, Raymond Runaround Sue 11 to 1, 16 to 1, Cloak Girl, Purple Sailor 16 to 1, 20 to 1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look here at race number 4, where my first selection is number 2, and that is Bitter Wind from Lyle Hewitson. Again, hopefully, maybe it will be a good thing. You can take the double on races 3 and 4 with St. John Gray. It might be worth a bit of money if it do arrive. Number 2, Bitter Wind, has been improving all the time. And I do believe the 1,600 meters will suit this horse even more. And definitely my selection for this race. Pin Up has got the chance. I mean, Paul Peter and Warren Kennedy, not without a chance. This horse has also improved over the 1450, but it says here moved up no extra. So that is for me a bit of a concern, but I might prove to be wrong. In my outsider selections, and as number 3, Cloak Girl. Cloak Girl did run a nice second race. I don't know what happened with the last race. Maybe it was a little bit too far. The 2,000 meters. Now Kamala on board, who rode it the second time over the 1,600 on the same course and distance. And I do think that might Cloak Girl definitely horse to include in your quartets. Then my other outsider selection is number 10, which is Suntrax. Suntrax is one of the very astute Tony Nassau stable. He hasn't got a lot of horses, but he's sure know how to bring them on. This horse improved tremendously from his previous line, running 1.75 behind New Bell. Now he's got Luke Ferraris on board from Zone 2. Definitely a horse that you want to include in all your play. So that concludes race number 4. Let's move on to race number 5, which is an apprentice handicap 1,600 meters, class D, average merit rating 65. one of those difficult races on the card where anything can happen. Here we have number 2, Secret of Maya, 33 to 10. Fly North 4 to 1. Fire Flower 5 to 1. Fresh from the US 11 to 2. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot 10 to 1. A Liverpool Legend 10 to 1. And in the game 10 to 1, 16 to 1. Masari and Lionsburg Blue 25 to 1, and longer the rest. Yeah, here my selection, I'm going for in a very, very open race. I'm going for number 1, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. You'll see here this is a Class D, average merit rating 65. Now look at this horse, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. 85, 75, 83, 87, 90, 74, 64. Last time he ran in this class, he won his maiden plate, which was an average merit rating of 74. Now it's get 60 minus 1.5. Definitely way down in class, and I'm looking for this horse to run a big race today. A 10 to 1, a nice value bet. Then my outsider selections is number 4, which is Mazzari also a horse that has ran against much stronger opposition in a time, but you never know which Mazzari will pitch up, but can pitch up on this course and distance, and on this distance, drawn 1, size to minus 2.5, nice outsider 16 to 1. You include in your play. I see here 5th of July is also a horse that I fancy. He's nicely bred. I see it won its maiden, but was subsequently disqualified. I don't know what the reason. Maybe there was a problem with the blood or something, and has been running there and thereabouts with Carl Stradham on board, getting the -4. Maybe can include into your play, in your betting, into your play. Here we have number 16. This is Super Mufti. Now Super Mufti, is carrying 5 minutes, 2.5, carrying 50. Has been running well. Did 1 free in a row in Kimberley, and then came back and was battling a little bit. But in the last 2 runs, and with that weight, can bother the judges. Definitely a horse you need to include in all your play. Well, there's a lot of horses here with chances that you can include, and yeah, I'm not going to discuss all of them, but make your choice. Just want to mention short and sweet. Maybe you want to have a look at this horse and also include it in your play, in your bigger perms. Only carrying 49, has been running on 23.6 fastest, 423 second fastest. So maybe you want to include that into your play. Then we move on to race number 6, which is a Phyllis Amir's 88 handicap over 1600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 1, Lily Blue, 28 to 10, 33 to 10, Udalate, Toto 5 to 1, Fort Anne 6 to 1, Now You See Me 7 to 1, Destiny's Game 18 to 8 to 1, League of Her Own 12 to 1, 16 to 1, Encryption, and 20 to 1, Secret Dream. So here let's have a look at race number 6, where my first selection is number 1, Lily Blue, came from Zimbabwe, where she cracked up a 9 wins. And then last time out running in an 88, wasn't disgraced, running 1.25 behind Elusive Ford, and was running on 22.6 second fastest 400. And I do believe Lily Blue is going to run a huge race today. Then for outsiders in this race, I went for number 6, which is League of Her Own. Yeah, League of Her Own is also improving, and I've been following this horse. One of these days, she's going to find herself in the winner's box. Did clock up 3 wins quickly in her career, and then was not doing well over shorter distances. But since the trainer has put her over longer distances, she has improved, can definitely improve to be involved in the finish. And then also number 8 is Fort Anne. It's a loser Ford. Hasn't had a lot of runs, but didn't run largely behind the loser force, actually finished in front of number 1. But I do believe, and I think Fort Anne also in with a chance, as was number 9 Toto. Also a nice lightweight can be involved in the finish. So definitely also horse that you want to maybe include into your play. So that is then race numbers. Let's move on to race number 7, which is a progress plate over 2,000 meters. And here we have the betting as follows. Western Ford 17 to 10, Snow Palace 28 to 10, Imperial Master 3 to 1, 9 to 2, Sell High, Tigers Express 10 to 1, 14, Senior Lizard, Scratch number 6 for Sworder Street. So here we have, if we look at the best weighted column, number 4 and number 1, and that's the horse that we were going to go for. Number 1 is Western Fort, but my first selection is number 4, Snow Palace, who ran in August, who ran in a grade 1, 3 lengths behind Dancing Brave, who was winning that race for the second time. Before that, has run against some huge, strong opposition. My only concern a little bit is the distance. This Snow Palace hasn't won over this distance, and I do feel sometimes the 2,000 meters might be a little bit too far, but I believe with Strader on board will make a huge difference. And yeah, number 1 can also be involved in the finish. Well, number 1 definitely can be involved in the finish and also a huge runner in this race. Sell high, although a little bit out in the weights, but it has been improving. But didn't when it's maiden last time out. Sorry, no, was a second run. Didn't run too bad with behind category, beating category 4, who came out to 1 after that. So also in with a chance. Then we want to move to race number 8. Race number 8 is another apprentice handicap over 2,000 meters, class D, average merit rate is 67. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is in a very open race, 4-1 the field, Cohesive 4-1, Jacko Boy 11-2, the SAS 7-1, Plumfield 7-1, Curvation 9-1, Smiler River 10-1, Rabia the Rebel 12-1, 16-1, Consul Queen, and Aturia Land of Rubies 20-1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look at this field where we have the Class D of an average merit rating of 67. And here in race number 8, my first selection is number 2. Smiley River, who's currently at 10-1, and also one of my value bets. Smiley River, if you have a look at the average merit rating in this race is 67. This horse has run against some nice oppositions, 99 behind Summer Pudding, 5 lengths. You put Summer Pudding, she'll win by 100 meters at least. Titan around 80. So this horse has become competing in a much in higher divisions. Now today she's down in class, getting the -2, although drawn a little bit wide, but with the long straight to the Vaal, to me that's not a concern. I think number 2, Smiley River, a nice each way bet. Then number 5, Consul Queen, has been also improving, has shown a lot of promise when she was a maiden, and I think it can still improve. Also getting a -1, Consul Queen, definitely a horse that you need to include in all your play. Has also been running against a higher class last time out. And then my other outsider selection is number 8, which is Land of Rubies. Land of Rubies has run a much better race last time. Also getting the -4 today, carrying 51. And I think we'll be running on at the end. Koishi did one well as a maiden, but now I think a little bit stronger. There are a number of horses that can win in this race, so you will have to go wide in this race. So let's go to race number 9. Race number 9 is a October classified state class D, average merit rating 65. Let's have a look at the betting here. Here we have number 1, Lord Melbourne 7-2, Gold Rock 7-2, Perfect Luck 7-1, Drummerdude 9-1, 12-1, Kurt Approval, Bellagio King 12-1, Passion Feast 14 and 16-1, and longer the rest. So here my first selection is Lord Melbourne, but I just want to mention that here's the best weight at 13, Perfect Life, Passion Feeds, Pucker Up, Kushmu, and Jagga. Now last time out, one of these qualified, I said they really run according to this best weighted column. And then the horse that I had as the best weighted duly won the race, but I did include it in my play. But I was sitting with a bit of egg on my face, and I'm hoping it's not going to happen again today, because I'm going with Lord Melbourne, because here we have a average merit rating race of 65. Lord Melbourne has run against 82, 73s, 83s, and has not been, overshadowed, and has actually run well in those races. So I do believe it will run well, but unfortunately drawn 14. Gold Rock last time out won with a huge price, so one will have to see if he can go in again. One of my outsider selections, number 4, Drummer Dude, did improve after his maiden. He ran third behind a Freed and getting the -2.5. Here we have Bolt Matador. Bolt Matador is one of those horses you never know. If he really wants to, he can run well in this race. He did run 3 rings behind Creation, but then didn't fare too well in his next 2 races. But definitely can probably involved in a finish. Another outsider selection is number 13, which is in the best weighted column. That's Perfect Light. I think Perfect Light will improve. Yeah, this is the horse I was talking about, Littlewood, who won, which I said made, you know, excuse me, that was the best weighted horse in that race. So yes, he can definitely improve and be involved in the finish here. Now this is a very open race. Yeah, a lot of horses with chances. Secret Dynasty went to the polytrack last time out and won well. And has been showing signs of running, running good races. So maybe also a horse that you want to include in your play. So all in all, a very difficult last race. I hope I could point you in the right direction and you can pick up a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.